Welcome back, my friends. So today we're going to be taking a look at a controller from 8Bitdo that none of us knew we needed, or even why does it exist, right? But a lot of you guys were interested. I was intrigued myself as well, so we're taking a look at this today. The 8Bitdo Lite, the light Bluetooth gamepad. Now, obviously, this is made more geared towards the Switch Lites because they sell them in turquoise and yellow for the colorful Switch Lites that recently released. And light is in the name, right? So that's kind of how it's being marketed, which kind of defeats the purpose of the Switch Lite. You're playing this thing in handheld mode, but then you got a controller made for it. But at the same time, I kind of get it because I have taken my regular Switch, docked it up like this, and used another controller and played it like that. So, hey, it is an option. We're going to find out if it's any good. So there's the packaging. These things go for 25 bucks. They are Bluetooth controllers, right? So let's go ahead and get into this thing and take a look at what we got. So there it is. Turquoise matches the system perfectly. Very small controller, very similar in size to an NES controller. Kind of give you a little bit of a comparison there. The NES controller is a little wider, not by too much, but it is a little wider. Height-wise, the Lite controller is a little taller, but very similar. You know, they're rectangles in a sense. This does have the curved edges though. But hey, that's the best comparison I can make is to an NES controller. It's not as thick as one, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the size and shape of this thing. Very small in your hands, but it doesn't feel too bad, to be honest with you. You have your L and R, your L2 and your R2. I believe that's the sync button, USB-C for charging. We'll take a look at the cable in a second. A, B, X, Y, our minus and plus, our switch and X input mode. Little switch right there. It's a little, you're gonna kind of have to have a nail to move that. It's like kind of hard to just grip it with the, with your fingers, but there's that. Our little arrow keys are D-pad, and then our share and home buttons are on there as well. The one thing that this has going for it that's interesting, I mean, I wouldn't say that it has going for it. I just think it's kind of odd, but interesting at the same time, is that we have a left and a right D-pad instead of analog sticks. So that is a neat idea. I don't know how well that's going to work. The other thing, because some people will be curious, you know, we have a click in on our analogs here for L3 and R3. Same thing with the D-pads, and I have a little fear with that. You can click the D-pads in to register L3 and R3, but the way these D-pads feel, like, are we going to accidentally register that all the damn time? Because, you know, in an analog, you kind of got to click it in. On this controller, you're clicking those directions. Kind of worried about that, but we're going to go ahead and test this stuff out. There's our little light indicator at the bottom, charging light indicator up there. So let's see what else we got. We do have our little basic manual that just says how to sync this thing. Put the controller on S mode and press home to turn the controller on. Press the pair button for 2 seconds to enter pairing mode. Okay, pretty simple stuff. Windows X input gives you directions there, turbo function. Hold the button you'd like to set the turbo, and then press the star button to activate or deactivate. This does not apply to switch mode. Okay, interesting. D-pad and analog sticks are not included. Built-in 480 milliamp hour battery for 18 hours of playtime, rechargeable within 1 to 2 hours. Power saving 1 minute with no connection will power off. 15 minutes with Bluetooth connection, but no use will power off. Press home to wake up your controller. So there's that. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. We'll go ahead and hit that pair button for a couple seconds. The light underneath is flashing. Man, that pair button's very hard to press. It's very flush. But hopefully we got it. And there we go. Registers as a Pro controller. Okay, before we test it, I do want to take a quick look at the USB-C cable that it comes with. Very nice length on this. It seems to be about 3 feet. The thing that I really like with this cable is that it is thick, but it is flexible. It's got a nice flex to it. So that is very nice. You know, a lot of times you get these cables that are very stiff, or either just like too pliable. This is nice and thick, and it's got a nice little pliability. I don't know what the hell it's called, but you know what I mean. So that is definitely nice. So let's go ahead and zoom up a little bit and try to see how this functions. So I want to test a couple things here. I want to test a fighting game first off, and see about using this analog D-pad thingy. And then I also want to play a game that uses an analog stick for movement. So I'll probably check out Super Monkey Ball. Why not? You guys know I typically test controllers with like Street Fighter to see if I could do some of those Hadoukens and dragon punches. But I figured Samurai Showdown to change it up. You know, we got some similar moves or like button combinations anyway. Wow. Like I couldn't see using the arrow buttons as a D-pad. That just sucks balls. Even though I can perform the moves, it just sucks, man. It sucks. Need a standard D-pad. And you know what? I'm feeling pretty good about this Victoli. I'm feeling pretty good with this D-pad here. I was a little hesitant at first, just the way it feels. It like doesn't feel as good as the D-pad on this system. Like I like the D-pad on here. I think it feels good. It is a little small. And comparing this, it is a bigger D-pad by quite a bit. Almost double the size of the D-pad there. But I was a little hesitant just because the way it feels, but I'm digging it. It actually feels pretty good. I'm accidentally hitting the L button, inserting coins. Yeah, that's a one thing. This L button, I am triggering it. You know, barely touching it. Like, I mean, you got to click it to do it, but like the like ass crack of my index finger is like hitting it. So I mean, you got to kind of adjust, I guess, how you hold this thing, because I am barely touching it, and it's registering while I'm playing the game. So it's like, let me see if I just died. I'm just fucking with this controller to see how I feel about it. But let me see if I could play it holding it a little differently. It's like I wish these arcade Neo Geo games on here, it wasn't the L and R button, it was the select and start that did all that stuff, because I keep accidentally going into the menus. I still want to keep playing it with my fingers in the back. Like I don't want to keep my fingers up here. It's not comfortable to me having my fingers resting up here. Like I want to play like this. I want to hold it more like an NES pad is the thing. He got me. I mean, it's not bad if I'm holding it like this, if I'm holding it a little lower instead of up here, because if I'm holding it up here, I'm accidentally hitting these buttons. So I just want to point that out. This is definitely not going to be for everyone. I mean, I know it's not going to be for everyone. There's no way, you know, I'm going to try some Super Monkey Ball here, see how this D-pad reacts as an analog in this game where you really want that precision. I'm not going to be able to recommend, I can't say like, hey guys, go out and grab this damn thing. This is a novelty right here. This is not a replacement for a Pro controller or other options. It's not a replacement to playing your Switch Lite in handheld mode. It can be used and used comfortably, but it just doesn't, it works. It's just kind of hard to really say, hey, this is great. It's not better than a Pro controller. It's not better than any of the other 8BitDo controllers. This is something that is small. You could easily just throw it in a pouch or in your pocket, or, you know, I don't like putting stuff like this in my pocket, but you get where I'm coming from. Like, if you want to bring some controllers around, you don't want to bring some extra Joy-Cons. Maybe you want to play some multiplayer games or something, right? With some friends, and you want to play it this way, how we have this set up. These controllers might be a good option. You know, especially they're only $25 and you're getting a full controller. So you know, maybe as an additional controller or for multiplayer setup, playing kind of docked like this, I could see it. But definitely not a replacement for a more robust controller or a first party controller. Yeah, this is, I'm not the greatest at this game, just being honest. But yeah, I would prefer an analog stick with monkey ball. There's just, you know, it doesn't feel too bad, that I am bumping in the shit a little more so than I normally would. So just want to, we got to jump. I mean, we don't got any crazy turns yet, but it works. Just a weird controller, that's all. But like I said, I think this would definitely be more geared towards playing some multiplayer games, meeting up somewhere. Maybe you're chilling at the Coffee Bean or Starbucks, or I don't freaking know where you guys hang out at. I hang out at home, so this is not really that important to me. But I could see if I was going somewhere and I had to chill with like my kids or something for a little bit and we didn't have anything else to do, it would be nice to have these as little additional controllers. It responds well. It responds very well. Just not a replacement for an analog stick. So there's that, guys. Like I said, I can't like highly recommend this controller. It's neat. I have ordered the yellow one just in case. Like, I just ordered it before I made this video because I was like, man, I don't know if maybe I'll like it. Let me just grab one. And I'm gonna keep the order. I'm not gonna cancel it. I'll take an extra one of these because I'm seeing I could have some uses out of these, but they're not gonna be everyday uses. They're gonna be very special uses, like I said. But yeah, if this is something that suits you, if you think you'll get some use out of this, I'll put a link in the description for you. But having said all that, it's not the best form factor. Doesn't replace any other controller out there. The build quality is nice. Everything responds well. I do like the look and feel of it, but just you kind of have to readjust on how you hold it to make sure you're not accidentally hitting like this L and R button, because it's like just barely. You're gonna hit them. You're gonna hit them if you have your fingers kind of resting, touching them slightly, even from behind. You'll register them. So you're gonna have to keep that in mind. You're gonna have to readjust depending on the game how you hold this to make sure you're not accidentally hitting something you don't want to. So, hey, really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It means the world to me. You know it, guys. And with that said, peace out, thumb butt, bye-bye, and boom. Bye.